This is time sensitive. If you're newly retired, about to retire, or you retired recently and you're watching the market swing around like it's trying to throw you off the bus, this is one of those things you fix early or you pay for later. And I'm recording this video because I keep seeing the same heartbreak. People do everything right for decades. Then the first couple years of retirement hit a bad market, and they start making decisions from fear. And I think you deserve the full story. So here it is. I'm recording this video right now because this topic is quietly costing retirees real money. Comment where you're watching from so I can see how far these videos travel. And real quick, if you value calm numbers first retirement breakdowns like this, do me a favor, subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so the algorithm knows you want more of this. Now, in case you haven't seen what I'm talking about, here's the vibe that's been flying around. The market dropped? I should go to cash. I can't retire in this environment. I should stop withdrawals until it comes back. Maybe I should sell everything and wait. And on the surface, it sounds airtight. It sounds like self-protection. But when you slow it down piece by piece, and you look at sequence risk, cash flow needs, and forced selling, you realize the reality is more nuanced. That's clean. It's also incomplete. So I'm going to break down three things. First, what actually kills a retirement plan in a crash. Second, the exact three-step survival blueprint that keeps you from panic selling. And third, how to map the next year without pretending you can predict the exact market. So, let's start with what we can verify. A market drop by itself doesn't end retirement. What ends retirement is this combination. Market drops early in retirement, plus ongoing withdrawals, plus no runway, plus emotional decisions. Here's the clean way to think about it. Sequence of returns risk is taking withdrawals during a storm while the roof is already damaged. If you're still in accumulation, a market drop can be a sale. If you're newly retired and withdrawing, a market drop can become permanent damage if you're forced to sell risk assets to fund life. This is why the first 5 years after you stop working is the danger zone. Not forever. The first 5. That's when your decisions compound. Now let me be blunt. Retirees don't blow up plans because they didn't know the market could drop. They blow up plans because they built a paycheck that requires selling stocks every month no matter what. That's not a paycheck. That's a hostage situation. Here's a question for you. If the market dropped 30% tomorrow, could you go 1 year without selling stocks? Comment yes, no, or not sure, because that one answer tells me whether your plan has a runway or whether it's living on the edge. Okay, now here's the mechanism that matters. In a crash, you have two enemies. Enemy 1, forced selling. Enemy 2, panic decisions. Forced selling happens when you need cash to live, and the only place it can come from is the part of the portfolio that's down. Panic decisions happen when you think selling will stop the bleeding, but what it often does is lock in losses and turn a temporary drop into permanent damage. So the survival plan is designed to do one job: keep you from selling the wrong thing at the wrong time. Now, here's the 3-step crash survival plan. No drama. Write it down. Step 1. Separate your money into now, soon, and later. Now money is your spending runway. Think cash, T-bills, short-term high-quality bonds depending on your plan. This is your shock absorber. Soon money is your medium-term stability bucket. This might include bonds with reasonable interest rate risk, ladders, balanced funds depending on your approach. Later money is your growth bucket. Stocks and growth assets meant to fund the later decades. Here's the clean way to think about buckets. You're not predicting the market. You're organizing time. You're making sure next month's groceries are not funded by whatever the S&P decides to do this week. Step 2. Implement thermostat spending immediately. This is where people get emotional. They either slash everything and feel miserable, or they refuse to change anything and drain the portfolio too hard. Thermostat spending means essentials stay stable, flexible spending adjusts with conditions. So your move in a crash is not sell everything. Your move is pause upgrades, reduce the nice-to-haves, slow the leak. If you can cut flexible spending by 10 to 20% for a period, you can dramatically reduce how hard you have to pull from a damaged portfolio. That's not deprivation. That's control. Step 3. Refill the runway in good years, not in bad years. This is the part that makes the system work long-term. When markets recover and you get a strong year, you don't just celebrate and spend more. You take advantage of strength to rebuild the shock absorber. You refill now money so the next downturn doesn't force selling. It's boring. It's disciplined. It's how retirees stay retired. Now, here's the skeptical alternative. Someone will say, buckets are market timing. No, that's plausible, but it's wrong. Here's why. Market timing is making a prediction about what happens next. Buckets are planning for what you will do no matter what happens next. That's the difference between a gambler and a pilot. The pilot doesn't predict turbulence. The pilot builds systems for turbulence. Now, let's talk about what not to do in a crash. Because this is where retirees get wrecked. Don't go to all cash out of fear without a re-entry plan. That's how you turn a temporary drop into permanent underperformance. Don't stop withdrawals without knowing what bills still need to be paid. That's how you create lifestyle chaos and then make even worse decisions. Don't chase safe yield products you don't understand just because they look stable. A high yield is not a safety guarantee. Don't pretend you'll be perfectly calm later if you're not calm now. Build rules while you can still breathe. So what does this actually mean for you if you already retired and the market is down? It means you need to answer 3 questions immediately. Question 1. How many months of essentials do I have in the now bucket? Question 2. How much can I cut from flexible spending without feeling like my life is over? Question 3. Do I have a written refill rule for when markets rebound? If you can't answer those, you're not protected. You're just hoping. Now here's a simple action plan. No drama. Step 1. Calculate your monthly essentials. Not your perfect life. Essentials. Multiply that by 12. That's 1 year of essentials. Decide whether your now bucket covers 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, whatever matches your temperament and other income sources. Keep it sane. Step 2. Create a crash budget in advance. A list of what gets cut first. Travel, dining, gifts, subscriptions, upgrades. Write it down. In a crash, you don't negotiate with yourself daily. You follow the list. Step 3. Create a refill trigger. Example, after a strong year, you rebalance and move a portion into the runway until it's back at your target level. This prevents repeating the same crisis every time the market sneezes. Write it down. Decide X first, then Y. Now, let's map 3 plausible paths without pretending we can predict the exact market. Path 1. Quick recovery. In this world, your system prevents panic selling, you keep withdrawals sane, and you refill the runway on the rebound. You win by not doing something stupid. Path 2. Slow recovery or sideways market. In this world, thermostat spending becomes the hero. You don't need perfection. You need sustainability and discipline. Small cuts early protect the machine. Optional path 3. Deeper drop. In this world, the uncomfortable truth shows up. If your plan requires selling stocks to survive, you're overextended. So you use the runway, cut flexible spending, and if needed, you reassess the withdrawal rate and asset allocation. Not from fear. From math. I'm not predicting it. I'm saying it's within the set of things life can do. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. If you retire with zero runway and a rigid spending plan, a crash doesn't just hurt. It forces you to sell the most valuable future growth at the worst time. That is the retirement version of buying high and selling low. Except it's worse because it can impact the rest of your life. And if you're not prepared for this version, you'll panic. And panic is expensive. Now, I want to give you a watch list prompt. If you want to know whether your retirement plan is in danger during a crash, don't just watch the market. Watch your withdrawal rate. Watch your runway length. Watch whether your spending is flexible. Those 3 indicators will tell you more than CNBC ever will. Here are the rules I use, and you can steal them. 1. Decide your maximum withdrawal guardrail first. Write it down. If you're losing sleep, you're pulling too hard, or you're invested too aggressive. 2. When markets run hard and you're up a lot, refill your cash runway. Not forever, just enough to buy you time. 3. Don't confuse income with safety. A high yield is not a safety guarantee. 4. The best time to make a retirement decision isn't when you're scared or hyped. It's when you can still breathe and do the math. So here's what we covered. We covered what actually kills a plan, forced selling plus panic decisions, especially early in retirement. We covered the 3-step survival blueprint, buckets by time horizon, thermostat spending, and runway refills on good years. And we covered how to think in scenarios without predicting. Quick recovery, slow grind, deeper drop, same system, different intensity. The real risk isn't just the market, it's timing, taxes, and behavior. So if you retired and the market dropped, don't spiral, don't improvise. Build the system. Protect the runway. Keep the machine alive. Now, here are my questions for you. First, what's your current runway? Less than 12 months, 12 to 24, or more? Comment my 12, 12, 24, or 24 plus. Second, in a crash, what would you cut first? Travel, dining out, gifts, or something else? Drop it below. If you got value out of this, subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so I know you want to follow up when the next update hits. And if this helped you, share it with someone who's trying to retire without making expensive mistakes. All right, take care of yourself, stay sharp, and I'll talk to you soon. And just so we're crystal clear, this is educational content and commentary. It's my take based on publicly discussed information and my own reasoning. And it's not personal financial advice. I'm not your advisor. I don't know your goals or your risk tolerance, and I could be wrong. Do your own homework. Consider your situation. And if you need personal advice, get it from a qualified professional who knows your situation.